President Donald Trump has signed an executive order to begin shutting down the U.S. Department of Education. It's a move that conservatives have pushed for years. But while this is being framed as returning power to the states, in places like Santa Clarita, it could mean real harm to students with disabilities, low-income families, and already struggling schools. Let's be clear. Trump can't legally shut down the Department of Education without the approval of Congress, but what he's actively doing is gutting it from the inside. His administration is slashing staff, redirecting critical programs like Title I IDEA and Pell Grants to other departments, and starving the system of resources. It's death by 1,000 cuts, and the goal is clear: suffocate the Department of Education until it's too weak to function. Senator Adam Schiff put it bluntly. Today's illegal act by the Trump administration will have disastrous consequences for our schools. It will mean fewer resources for special education, for teacher training, and for individualized attention to the learning needs of each child. That these cuts are made to fund a tax cut for large corporations makes the sacrifice of our schools even more unbearable. In Santa Clarita, federal funding comprises a very small percentage of the budget for each school district, but that small slice means millions of dollars in funding for some of the most critical programs. Those supporting students with special needs, low-income families, and English language learners. Without the DOE managing these programs, funding delays or policy confusion could hit our most vulnerable students the hardest. Programs like Title I for low-income students, IDEA for special education, and civil rights protections under Title IX and Section 504. For example, the Department of Education protects students with disabilities, ensuring they get the accommodations they need, like ramps, elevators, or specialized equipment, so they can learn on equal footing with everyone else. The Department of Education also cracks down on abuse and discrimination based on race, ethnicity, or religion. If a school is unfairly targeting students, say through discriminatory discipline policies or failing to address hate speech, the department steps in to hold them accountable and protect students' rights. The White House says that this role will be handed over to the Justice Department, which is facing a backlog of cases and cuts to personnel since Trump's inauguration. Pell Grants and federal student loans are being transferred to the Small Business Administration, an agency currently cutting nearly half its staff. For students at College of the Canyons, this could be a disaster. COC relies on Pell Grants and federal loans to keep higher education affordable for thousands of local students. The SBA isn't built to manage financial aid, and this move could lead to delays, confusion, or even lost funding, making it harder for Santa Clarita students to attend or stay in college. Santa Clarita's school districts are already navigating enrollment drops and funding issues. The Saugus Union School District closed Santa Clarita Elementary in 2023 due to seismic repair costs and shrinking enrollment. The William S. Hart High School District has faced the same issues, and the district continues to face a budget crisis. In October 2023, at the height of this crisis, Hart School Board member Joe Messina encouraged parents to pull their children out of public schools, despite knowing that enrollment declines hurt the district financially and would exacerbate the district's financial problems.
Now, as a public official, I'm going to tell you something. At some point in time, either fight or pull your kids out. Your first responsibility is to protect your children. And if they're not being taught properly, if they're being taught things that are 180 degrees from God's word, step up and do the right thing. Pull them. It'll hurt. It'll hurt financially. And that's all they seem to understand. That's why we need you to. Now,
this isn't happening in a vacuum. Conservatives have been advocating for eliminating the Department of Education since Ronald Reagan. Recently, right-wing groups like Moms for Liberty have been the biggest advocates for the policy. Moms for Liberty had a large presence at Trump's executive order signing to eliminate the Department of Education, with Moms for Liberty posting on X that it was wonderful to see our members' children on stage with President Trump. At a recent conservative town hall event that featured Karen Frost, the chair of the Santa Clarita-based Los Angeles County Moms for Liberty, local conservatives discussed weakening teachers' unions and the idea that Trump could turn up the pain on local school districts by eliminating federal funding in order to force them to comply with his executive orders targeting LGBTQ children. At this event, Karen Frost shared her experience as a parent of a special needs child, emphasizing how much she relies on public education to support his care.
That my kids actually aren't homeschooled. That they are in the public school system. Two of them have already graduated. Two of them are still in it. One of them is on a year-by-year contingency. He's in the honors program, and he's my little patriot. I'm not overly concerned about him. And then the other one is in a very intensive special ed program that he really needs some specialists. So I've kept them there so far, but it's on a year-by-year contingency, and I'm a firm and passionate advocate for school choice. And
just weeks earlier, at an event in Long Beach, Frost praised President Trump and billionaire Elon Musk for their push to slash the federal workforce and gut critical programs, the very programs families like hers depend on.
This thing is just growing. It's gotten the attention of some people that are in pretty high positions. President Trump has been at our last two summit meetings. One was in Philadelphia. The last one was in Washington, D.C. He loves what we're doing. Doge and everything that Doge is doing is huge, okay? And I'm not minimizing that in the least, but what is our carve out? Our carve out is fighting for educational rights, parental rights, specifically having to do with education.
Dismantling the Department of Education will likely have a big impact on families in our community. Santa Clarita students, families, and educators have built schools that serve tens of thousands, and removing federal support and oversight will leave the most vulnerable students even more vulnerable. Whether it's pressure from groups like Moms for Liberty or board members pushing families to abandon public education, what we're seeing is a coordinated effort to weaken public schools from the inside.
That'll work out very well. Those two elements will be taken out of the Department of Education, and then all we have to do is get the students to get guidance from the people that love them and cherish them, including their parents, by the way, who will be totally involved in their education along with the boards and the governors and the states. And it's going to be a great situation. I guarantee that